The MG4 redefines its brand and redefines what customers should have to pay for a cutting-edge, compact 5-seat EV family hatchback. It probably won't be on your wish list if you're currently looking for a car of this kind. It should be.
There's no key or starter button, and thankfully, unlike some other Far Eastern models, no silly chimes either. Once you're comfortable in the seat, you just press the brake and the car comes to life. This is the first in a series of new era MG models that ride and handle at a similar level to pricier volume brand competitors. Being able to base everything on properly modern underpinnings helps, in this case the brand's freshly developed modular scalable platform. But there's more to the engineering here than that. A slender battery pack that occupies almost the whole wheelbase length, a compact rear-mounted motor and perfect 50-50 weight distribution. To start with, there's a choice of two powertrains, both of which put out 250 Newton meters of pulling power. The base 51 kilowatt-hour version has a 170 PS motor, manages 218 miles of range and makes 62 miles an hour from rest in 7.5 seconds. Ideally, you'll want to stretch to the 64 kilowatt-hour version, which has a 203 PS motor, is a fraction slower to 62 miles an hour, 7.7 seconds, but goes 281 miles between charges, or 270 miles if you opt for the plusher but portlier trophy trim spec. As promised, that new chassis helps the car feel taut and responsive, and though the ride's on the firm side, it's something that you could live with, and it gives you the feel that this MG would be up for a few playful back roads if you could afford the battery range to let it have its head. Do that and you'll find decent body control, eager traction, and not too much evidence of the portly near 1.7 tonne curb weight. It's easily the most entertaining MG to date. You'd expect various drive modes and settings, and sure enough, this MG provides them. There are 5 driving modes: normal, sport, eco, snow and custom, and 4 selectable regenerative braking settings: weak, medium, strong and adaptive. The fiercest of these doing 80% of braking for you. For the money, you're getting a very complete package indeed. Did you ever imagine an MG might look like this? More to the point, did you ever imagine an ordinary family hatchback might look like this? Think of this car as a Chinese take on a Volkswagen ID3 and you won't be far off the mark. The two EVs are similar in size, and if anything, the MG4 looks more contemporary, almost Cupra-like, with its floating roof, heavily sculpted black lower bodywork, short rear overhangs, and intricate rear light clusters. It's also the first MG model with badging referencing its SAIC conglomerate parent in the side of the rear light unit. The insectoid looks could do with a larger set of wheels than the standard 17-inch rims to set them off, but aesthetically that's about it on the debit side. Flip the key fob and the projector LED headlamps spring into life, welcoming you in. What's in store inside? Something very different is the answer. It feels minimalist, uber modern, and a whole generation on from anything MG has previously ever offered us before. At first glance, there's a curious and slightly over-large steering wheel, flat-topped and bottomed, through which you view a 7-inch instrument screen, plus a centre floating 10.25-inch infotainment display, and not a lot else. The interior look lacks the bright and cheery feel of an ID3, and you could nitpick about some aspects of plastics quality, but overall the design here lacks little in either ambition or execution. You might find it annoying that there's no way of turning the car off should you wish to park up and remain in it. The only way of powering the MG4 down is to get out and lock it. Let's gain access again and take a look in the back. A great benefit of EV drivetrain packaging is the way that it usually frees up surprising amounts of rear seat legroom, which is again the case here. Even a 6-foot adult wouldn't have too many complaints in this case. Out back, the tailgate rises to reveal a 363-litre boot that looks reasonably sized but is 22 litres smaller than that of a rival Volkswagen ID3. Still, there are small netted side pockets, plus the practical shaping means you can make good use of what's available, and there's an adjustable height floor under which you can conveniently store the charging cables. Since MG was taken over by the Chinese SAIC conglomerate, the cars it sold have been good value, well equipped and practical, but never desirable or dynamically truly class competitive. All that changes with the MG4. What's really important here is that the basics are right. In fact, this is one of the most surprising cars we've reviewed for ages. All the engineering stuff stacks up, it looks good, and driving range and charging figures are well up to snuff. After trying an MG4, you may well still decide you want a better-known segment rival. But make no mistake, if you're choosing an EV in this class, try one. You must.